Welcome to Football Discussion Daily. My name is Joe, and I'm here with the co-host
You.
CGO or George. Today's the 26th of March, 2026. Please, quick reminder, like, subscribe us. We release long form on YouTube every day, shorter form on Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. Please give us a like or follow on whatever platform you're watching us if you like the content. Today, there was a series of World Cup qualifiers. Bolivia beat Suriname 2-1. They will face Iraq in the winner of that match goes to the World Cup. That game is next week. In the European qualifiers, Turkey beat Romania 1-0. Sweden beat Ukraine 3-1. We had Italy beat, was it, sorry, I had the scores up. We had Bosnia-Herzegovina beat Wales. We had Italy, George, who did Italy beat? Sorry, my screen is freezing right here.
That's not Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, sorry, I'm back. We had Czechia beat regular Ireland. We had Poland beat Albania. We had Denmark beat North Macedonia. We had Kosovo beat Slovakia. And we had we already said Bosnia-Herzegovina beat Wales. I already said that. 40-year-old Edin Dzeko scored in that game. So this means that next week there will be 4 qualifying games from UEFA. Winner gets the World Cup. Italy versus Bosnia and Herzegovina, Poland versus Sweden, Czechia versus Denmark, Kosovo versus Turkey. George, there was a lot of great goals today. Let's just start with the goals. Let's not even talk about the games. We had Tonali goal and the Zielinski goal for Poland, which is 2 fantastic goals. Tonali for Italy. Which of those goals do you think is better?
I think I will go for the one scored by Piotr Zielinski because the distance was much farther than that of Sandro Tonali. So both goals are very beautiful goals, but the one of Zielinski was more farther. So I'll think I'll pick that as my best goal for today. And that goal was very, very important for them because that was the winner in that game.
I will disagree. I think the Tonali goal is better because he took it out of the air when Zielinski, the ball was basically on the ground, and I think it's a harder technique to do consistently. We saw Sandro Tonali actually have an exceptional strike against the Pickford save. This is about a month ago in Premier League.
Yes.
And it's so hard to consistently get contact. You know, I practiced my entire life and played soccer my entire life, and I just know how to snatch a ball out of the air, put perfect contact on it. Actually, getting contact is hard. Getting contact and keeping it down is really hard. Anybody can punt it over the bar, snatch it out of the air. But Tonali, it's exceptional technique. He's done it twice in the last month, and there's a reason that there's all these rumors about him going to big clubs. All right, so George, next question back to you. What is the most surprising result of the day? Did anything surprise you, other than the fact that Edin Dzeko is still playing and scoring at the international level?
The most surprising result is the game between Wales losing out to Bosnia-Herzegovina in this game. I never expected Wales to lose. I was thinking maybe when they play Italy in the final phase of these playoffs, maybe that's where they might have issues. But being knocked out by Bosnia-Herzegovina is something that was very surprising. And the funny thing is that a 40-years-old Edin Dzeko was the guy who got the equalizer. Nobody really expected him to do that, but he scored his 73rd international goal for his country, which is quite remarkable.
Before today, did you know where he was playing?
Yes, I knew at some point he went to Fenerbahce in Turkey. So
no, he's now playing with Schalke in the German 2nd division.
Schalke. I thought he was. I thought
no,
he's
been at Schalke. He did play for Fenerbahce. You were right. But he transferred, I believe, in January, maybe in August to Schalke. But he's in the German 2nd division, and he has 6 goals in 8 matches. And again, George, I've talked to you about this all the time. Finishing doesn't go away. It's recovery, it's quickness, it's ability to speed. Finishing does not go away. I'm sure that Ronaldo from Brazil can still finish better than anybody on the planet. It's just getting in positions is what they get paid for, and it's the hard part. So Dzeko still has it, and Dzeko never was relying on speed. and it's great to see him still banging, and hopefully he'll make the World Cup.
Joe, the funny thing is that in that game, he was almost conspicuously missing until he scored that header that got them the equalizer. So, such kind of players with that level of experience as a striker, they don't need to do much. They just need just a chance for them to get the ball at the back of the net. And that was what he did today. And then they went into penalty and they got victory against Wales. I was surprised Wales lost this game, honestly.
Yeah. I am too. I mean, Wales has a lot of talent, and Bosnia Herzegovina. I remember before the last World Cup, they asked Edin Dzeko, like, "What is your goal in this World Cup?" And he says, "Our goal is to win." I think that from the outside looking in, it's very few people would say this. Bosnia Herzegovina should be winning a World Cup, but I think I like that mentality in a team. I like that player giving confidence in himself. I mean, these teams don't, even if realistically Bosnia and Herzegovina are happy with a knockout round appearance in the World Cup, I feel like the mentality of we have to go as far as we can is what an athlete needs in order to succeed. You cannot go into a tournament and say, "Oh, I'd be happy with a knockout round." I appreciate how honest he was with that mentality. I thought it was really cool.
But I don't know if you also saw the goal by Daniel James for Wales. It was a very spectacular goal.
Was it?
It took the goalkeeper by surprise because when he got the ball, the goalkeeper was trying to run back to his to the post, and before he knew it, he took a very good shot from very far distance, and the ball went into the net. The goalkeeper couldn't get his balance, and the ball went into the net. So that was another beautiful goal today. So I really love the goal he scored against the Bosnia Herzegovina, but unfortunately they didn't qualify. So that's quite unfortunate for Wales.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. But at least they got this far. It's kind of fun.
Did you see the game between Ukraine and Sweden? Victor Gyökeres scored an hat-trick today.
I saw the one goal. I saw Anthony Elanga had a great cross over to him. And I did see that Gyökeres. I think it's we as fans underrate how hard it is just to time his runs. He made the finish look easy, but I know all the work was done before that because he's a really smart player. I did see that goal. He had a hat trick today, didn't he, George?
Yes, he had a hat-trick. But the question I'd like to ask you is that do you think the absence of players like Mikhailo Modric, the likes of this guy who plays for Arsenal, I'm trying to remember his name now, he's a different
Zinchenko,
and then this guy they call Artem Dubic,
yeah.
who plays for Roma. Do you think their absence really affected the Ukrainian team today against Sweden?
I did not watch this game, so it's really hard. And I honestly, I'd be lying if I said I didn't watch Ukraine. If I watched Ukraine regularly, I'll say this: I do watch Yehor Yarmouk all the time. He's grown into a fantastic player. I think he's about a year away from transferring, but I think he'll go to a massive club probably next summer. He's a fantastic player. George, it's so hard to say anything about this Ukraine team. These players are for the most part do not play in the Ukrainian league because a lot of the good players get kicked out 4 years ago when the war started. Haiti is in a similar situation where those players can't go back. I'm sure they have a lot of national pride and want to represent their country, but it's a very difficult situation. I do remember, the Yugoslav countries in the 90s, were at war. It's just so hard to project what it is going through these players' heads, what their mentality is. I think they have a tremendous sense of national pride and representation because there is a lot of brave people in their country. But it's so hard for me to say X or Y or Z player because I don't watch the team. It is such a unique situation. And honestly, they do have a lot of quality. Again, Yehor Yarmouk, fantastic player. And in the past, they've had a lot of talent come out of Ukraine. So I'm sure it's disappointing for them not to make a World Cup, but I'm sure they'll continue to produce talent.
I'm sure you're not surprised with the outcome of Turkey against Romania. The goal was scored by Brighton's player called Fedi Kadeglu. So he scored a lone goal for Turkey, I think in the second half, and Adagula was the one who provided the assist in that game.
I've seen both these.
Did it come to you as a surprise?
No, I mean we talked last night. I think that Turkey has a strong team, a great atmosphere. Both of those players you mentioned, Huller and the Brighton guy. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. I've seen a couple times this season. When they're good, they're really good. When they're bad, they're really bad. I mean, Huller is young and playing on Madrid. It's a very different situation. When the Brighton player has a much longer runway of development and probably, at least from a scouting perspective, like less worldwide eyes on him, so less pressure to develop. It's great for Turkey. They again are always a hoot at international tournaments. I felt they had a strong Euro, and this is a great opportunity to build on that. Huller has seen. I don't think he's quite had the consistency at Madrid in terms of his performances, nor the time given to him by the coaches that one might have expected 2 or 3 years ago. I actually had the opportunity to see Huller in person one time in Turkey. I saw him score 2 goals against Kashim Pasa a couple of years ago. It was pretty awesome. I think he was 17 at the time. But yeah, I think that this is his opportunity to step up on the world stage. I think a lot of Turks would be looking to him as almost the star of that team. Yeah, what do you think, George? Did you have any thoughts on the performance from Turkey today?
No, I wasn't surprised that I was even thinking they will win by more than one goal, but a bit surprised they didn't score more than one goal today because the Romania were beat very formidable defensively. So it wasn't an easy game for Turkey. I was expecting maybe it's going to be much easier than what happened in the game, but Romania really they really surprised me. Defensively, they were good today, and that was the reason why we had the scoreline ending 1-0. So I'm sure Turkey will be happy because the most important thing is getting victory because this is just more like a knockout stuff. So it's either you win or you lose. So that's the most important thing. So Turkey will have to prepare for their next game um, on Tuesday. So it's a good game for Turkey. I'm sure you should be excited with the game for Denmark because you have a Brighton player, Mikkel
Brentford.
Damsgaard. Brentford. Mikkel Damsgaard, and then former Brentford player, Christian Nogard, scoring a goal today.
Yes,
What is
he's
your thought on that game against North Macedonia?
I mean, I think that Denmark winning is not a surprise. Denmark has, I feel like, out of the 16 teams that played today, one of, if not the strongest squad. They've played in most of the international tournaments the last decade. A lot of great talent has gone through there. I would say they're probably on the back end of what they would see as a golden generation of players like Ericsson, one of their great players. Obviously, a lot of those players have come through Brentford, including Damsgaard and Norgard. I think Damsgaard has the talent and quality to go anywhere he wants to after the summer. I'm most worried about losing him as a Brentford fan, much more than Igor Thiago, because Damsgaard has done it for so long. Damsgaard has been a great player for several years for Brentford, and that does not surprise me. I think he has the talent to run any top team in this country offensively. He can play on the wing and the center. He does not rely on pace, but he has pace. He is a very clever player. I'd be really excited to see him against some of these teams in the
But,
playoffs.
but what do you think about Christian Noga's game time at Arsenal? Because when he was still playing for Brentford, he had lots of game time. He was one of the key players of Brentford. But
Yeah.
getting to the Arsenal squad with the kind of quality they have, it has been difficult for him to get that game time. Don't you think that will affect him? Do you think he should move to another club or he has to stay there to fight?
I believe he's a 31-year-old player, maybe 32. I think he knew what he was getting into. He had a great career at Brentford. He said, "I want to play Champions League. I want to win. I a title. I understand I'm going to get less minutes. I understand I'm going to get more money." And he also is a 30, early 30s, and has the mentality that he cannot play for a month because other players like Rice or um, Zubimendi or whoever are in front of him come in and give a performance. That is the difference between a 32-year-old player and a 22-year-old player. A 22-year-old player cannot do that. A 22-year-old player can recover a lot faster, can play 90 minutes
That's
a
right.
lot, twice a week,
Yeah.
much more than Norgard. I mean, Norgard's not old, but he's not, But that's the difference mentality-wise, and I think it was a really smart depth signing um, from Arsenal. I don't judge Norgard as a player. He could have easily played 90 minutes for us for 50 games, 55 games for Brentford for the next 5 years and done great. honestly, in my opinion, a better replacement for him in Jordan Henderson, where we told Jordan Henderson, if you want to play for England, we are the best club you can play at 90 minutes. And Jordan Henderson listened, and he played for us. And I think it was a win-win for everybody. Henderson, in particular, I see him as a great leader for us, and I think it's one of the reasons he's in contention for an England spot. And Norgard leaving, Henderson does not come here if Norgard doesn't.
Yeah, one other game I would like you to talk about is the game between Czech Republic against Ireland. Ireland got 2 goals. They were 2 goals up,
Yes.
and then they allowed Czech Republic to equalize the 2 goals. And then when they went into penalty shootout, they lost the game.
Yep.
What do you think will be going through the minds of the Irish team now that they've been knocked out? Do you think this is going to really be a very terrible night for them, having lost such a kind of huge opportunity in this game?
Of course. And I'll say this: I've talked to my Irish friends, and they are not surprised. This is common for them, mentality-wise. I think at the end of the day, they have to know that this team is not, I think, a good Irish team in terms of talent. They have some talent there, but I mean, I've seen better Irish teams in the past, at least on paper. So we'll see. I think time will tell. A lot of these players are young and develop. What do you think, George? Do you feel like Ireland views this as a disappointment or something that they can build on and maybe qualify and compete for future tournaments? What do you think the Irish mentality
it has been very sad because the last time I watched the Irish team play at the World Cup, I think that was Japan Korea 2002, where we had the likes of Robbie Keane playing in that team, and they were very good in that. They really played very well at that competition. But since then, the Irish team has been struggling. Even when it comes to the Euros, you don't see much from them. So I think their football has really gone down, and they need to do a lot for it to come back to the level it is. Even their league, you don't hear much about the Irish league. There is no much competition. There's no much growth. Even the Scottish league is even better than the Irish league. You at least you get to hear about Celtic, you get to hear about Rangers. So I've not really seen much from the Irish. They need to really wake up. We want to see them doing what the likes of Robbie Keane did in 2020, in 2002.
Right. George, I'm
So
actually looking at this right now. Ireland has only qualified for the 3 World Cups in their history, and that's 1990, 1994, and 2002. It's just surprising to me that they've qualified for so little. Scotland obviously has a bunch more football heritage. I think Ireland's into a lot of other sports, and Scotland is more focused on football. There could be a lot. I'm very curious. I'm not as familiar with Irish history. Another interesting thing, though, George, is that I don't think Ireland has a Robbie or Roy Keane anymore. Like, nobody on this team is that good. Not many players in the world are as good as Roy Keane was at his peak. He's a fantastic player, but certainly nobody on Ireland right now. Not even my own Nathan Collins. I think you'd be the first to say he's not as good as Roy Keane. But also, George, they did get screwed is the wrong word. They did get there's a bit unlucky due to the referee calls on one of the World Cups where a ball hit Thierry Henry on the hand.
yes, I remember. Yes,
I think that was
Yeah.
2010, I believe. It could have been 2006.
Yes, it seems it's 2010. Yeah, it seems it's
It was 2010. They also, UEFA kind of changed their seeding rules to disadvantage Ireland. I believe it was that same year. And so this is the team that's been close several times. At the end of the day, I think the players have the mentality that we want to win the World Cup, but the fans can be happy and say we are happy if we just qualify. And this is a team that is happy to qualify and compete, not one that is, as the fans base has any true hope of winning. So we'll see. They released the quarterfinals in 1990. I did not know that either.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they got to the quarterfinals, and that was in 1990. That was Italian
before
90.
Before my time. I was a year and a half old.
So, Joe, do you think Bolivia, with the way they are going, do you think they stand a chance of making it to the World Cup? Because they defeated Suriname today, and they will be playing against Iraq on Tuesday.
Yes, I do. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like the fringe teams in South America and Europe are stronger than the fringe teams from other federations. The World Cup, I think it's a beautiful mixture of all these different countries around the world. But it's truly not the 48 best teams, in my opinion. It's a mixture of teams around the world. Bolivia is a fringe team in South America, and again, one of these teams that would easily qualify from almost any other federation, in my opinion. And I think anything can happen in a 90-minute game, but I think I'd be very, very surprised if Iraq gave them a competition. What about you, George? What do you think?
Oh, I strongly because not South American teams. They are very good when it comes to football. So I think that gives them a cutting edge because when you look at a team that plays against teams like Brazil, Argentina, definitely these things help such countries to develop very well when it comes to football. So I feel they have an edge over Iraq, and I won't be surprised if they knock out Iraq in that game coming on Tuesday because everything is in their favor, if you ask me. The only advantage the Iraq team has over them, why they have to play against Suriname before playing Iraq, is because Iraq is currently on a better FIFA ranking than them. That's the reason why. But if you look at what both teams have been doing, I think Bolivia will most likely get that spot in that
Yeah,
game.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. That's why they play the games. It's exciting. I think it's a beautiful thing that these type of things happen. I mean, it's very rare outside of a World Cup year where Bolivia gets to play Iraq in a competition. Awesome, George. I'm gonna close out by our standard questions. Number one, which result surprised you today the most? Whether it was 4-0 because of the difference 4-0 or just because of the quality of the team beating the other team. Number two, which goal do you think was better? George thinks it's the Zielinski goal. I think it's the Tonali goal. I think we both have great reasons, and everybody agrees they're two beautiful goals. And number three, again, Bolivia versus Iraq. Is there any chance that Iraq has a chance there? So we'll talk more about the preview of the UEFA final games. I'm really excited for that Tuesday. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.